This is the same product, the same brand, off the same shelf at the same price tag, but one version is not the same as the other. And you probably guessed it, the one on the right is just simply smaller and probably shittier. But let's be honest, would you have noticed it if both options were not directly in front of you when you were buying it? Probably not, at least not immediately. Now here's a few other examples. What used to look like this now looks like this. The same exact size. Brownie mix, the same box, even the same size box, but you get less inside. Ziploc, same box, less bags, same price. Some brands don't even make any effort to hide it, while some brands try to think of creative ways to lie directly to your face. And it's not just groceries, it's everything. Melatonin, you just get less than before. WD-40, wait, 25% extra. Oh, wait, Clorox, you get 65% more, but I still only get 10. How is this even allowed? Let's talk about shrinkflation. Shrinkflation is when a product gets smaller but the price stays the same. It's one of the most common hidden forms of inflation, and not because companies are trying to confuse you directly, but because they're trying to protect something else, their profit margins. And this is not just a nostalgic feeling or conspiracy theory anymore. According to Statistics Canada, this is now a measurable trend in grocery pricing. So no, you weren't imagining things. Things really are getting a lot shit. According to a 2023 Statistics Canada survey, 70% of consumers say that they have changed their food purchasing habits in the last year because of increasing food prices. And 87% of consumers say the price of food affects their purchasing decisions. Now, once again, Statistics Canada reported that between 2021 and 2023, nearly 30% of eligible grocery products in Canada experienced shrinkflation. And in 2022 alone, that number spiked to almost 50%. That's not a small adjustment. I mean, that is half the grocery aisle changing without changing the price tag. And it's not just happening in luxury items, it's happening to the everyday essentials like margarine, pasta mixes, cookies, crackers, cheese, cereal, just the basics. These are things that most households buy on a weekly basis. And the part that people don't realize is this is actually officially tracked now. Statistics Canada includes these changes directly in the Consumer Price Index as something called a quantity adjustment, which basically means if the product gets smaller and the price remains constant, it's treated as a price increase in the inflation data because the true cost of what you're buying is still going up. This looks and sounds great for transparency. It makes the government look like they're really the good guys here by tracking and announcing this issue, but companies are still allowed to get away with this. Let's talk about why companies do it. Now, the obvious question here is why not just raise prices? And the answer is behavioral. Research has shown that consumer demand is less sensitive to product downsizing than to price increases. So you're gonna notice a lot more when something goes from $4.99 to $5.49, but you won't notice it nearly as much when the box quietly gets 10% lighter. So companies optimize for perception. Instead of making you feel like the price jumped at checkout, they hope that you see or feel absolutely nothing while you slowly get less product over time. The same brand, the same packaging, just less inside. While these brands and manufacturing companies get rewarded for earning more for giving you less. I saw an interesting comment about this online. Another perspective of why companies are pro shrinkflation in the sense. The problem is that maintaining the same amount of profit is considered a failure, and success is only measured in increased profit, and infinite growth is impossible, at least without changes, right? And these are the resulting problems caused by that fact. And trust me, this is very true. Manufacturing companies are measured in managerial accounting terms. Basically, or even simpler, they are measured by numbers. Mainly sales and profit margins. So if those numbers are not seeing increases over time, then yeah, it's deemed a failure. Guys, we have an amazing product. Consumers love it. Revenue is stable. Everything's great. So what can we change about it? Oh, why don't we keep the same price, but we raise the quality? No, that's too expensive and they love it already. Oh, I know. Why don't we keep the same price, but lower the quality? That's genius. Essentially, that's shrinkflation. But it's actually only one part of the puzzle, and there is something else, and it might actually be a lot worse than shrinkflation. It's the little brother called skimpflation. So instead of giving you less product like shrinkflation does, companies give you a worse one. It's the same branding, same product name, same size, same price, but lower quality, whether ingredients or cheaper materials or reduced services behind the scenes. For example, take this box of granola bars where the main ingredient went from milk chocolate to chocolatey coating, which includes cheaper ingredients like palm oil. And now because of this change, they had to rebrand their packaging from chocolate chip to chocolatey chip, hoping that you will not notice the difference. Shrinkflation hides in the quantity, whereas skimpflation hides in the quality, and together they both accomplish their goal, which is allowing prices to remain stable while slowly degrading your experience. And once you understand that pattern, you start seeing it everywhere. Subscriptions, apps, streaming. Do you remember when streaming meant no ads? Now we've got these plans on certain platforms where you actually pay them to watch ads. Isn't that crazy? Like, have we lost it? And that's where the bigger question comes in, because on one hand, companies are dealing with rising costs. It's very real. Rising material, labor, energy, just inflation across the board. A lot of that pressure is very real. But on the other hand, the way that pressure gets passed down to you is not always obvious. It doesn't always show up as a higher price tag. Sometimes it shows up as less product or slightly worse quality or a completely new version that feels a little bit different. You just can't quite prove why. So now the real question becomes, who's actually at fault for this? Is it the companies that are trying to protect their profits and their profit margins in a somewhat difficult economy? Or is it just the natural result of inflation and rising costs being passed down to us as consumers in a seemingly very unregulated way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd really appreciate it. If you thought this video was interesting, you'll probably like my most recent video about buy now, pay later. I'll put it up on the screen right here. Go check it out.